What is up? We are back, episode 43. Sorry there wasn't an episode last week. I forgot to upload, not gonna lie. But we are here. It's me, G Russ. We don't know where Barrett's at. But we have some stuff to talk about, G Russ. Baseball just started. Watched some spring training games today. I think both our teams won. Or no, your team didn't
Braves
play
play
today.
tomorrow.
Braves play tomorrow. I know the Yankees won 4-0. Spring training, it doesn't matter, but I like baseball. So but we're not going to start with baseball. We're actually going to start with basketball, in which we have some tough news. Victor Wembanyama out for the season. It could be longer. Is it a blood clot in his shoulder? I think that's what it
Yeah, I think
is essentially.
that's in simpler terms. Yeah.
It's really complex. To simplify it, it's a blood clot in his shoulder. Really sad. I mean, this injury is taking careers away. So it is pretty serious what's going on. He honestly probably would have won Defensive Player of the Year. I think he leads the league in blocks.
It was like
I,
minus 2,500. It
yeah, no,
wasn't even
I
close.
think he was pretty much a lock. Doesn't meet the 65 game minimum. No Defensive Player of the Year for Wemby, which stinks. It also stinks for San Antonio, who feel like they kind of went all in, especially with the De'Aaron Fox trade to try and possibly make a little bit of a late push here with Chris Paul, De'Aaron Fox, and Wemby. Um, it's just tough to see. Just your kind of initial thoughts
Yeah,
here.
this is a really bad injury to have. Prayers up to Wemby. I've seen some places where they say it's almost the exact same as Chris Bosh's injury, but some people said it's not, but it's still similar with the blood clots and everything. So I felt awful for Wemby for that. San Antonio now, Darian Fox really wanted to go to the Spurs, so I think I'm not sure if this is final year. I know he has a couple years left. I would easily seen him signing an extension with San Antonio. Right now for San Antonio, I think you get ready for next year, kind of, unless you can kind of hover around that bubble. They're pretty guard heavy. They have Chris Paul, they have De'Aaron Fox, they have Stephon Castle, who's probably the best rookie out of the class right now with Jared McCain out for the year. So I feel awful for the Spurs, but I think next year they have a bright future, especially if Wemby can get back and healthy.
Yeah, sucks to see. One of the best young players in the league, in a kind of in a period where there might not just be as many young talented guys entering the league as there once was. But speaking of young talented guys, Mark Williams, he was going to be traded to the Lakers. He fails his physical. Later, it comes out that the Lakers might have failed the physical on purpose, possibly. Might have got a little late buyer's remorse, as they say, um, which doesn't surprise me. Uh, but I think his agent, I'm pretty sure his agency came out and said, "Hey, listen, he's perfectly fine. He's perfectly healthy." The Lakers kind of failed him because he passed the one in Charlotte. He passed a regular one. I'm pretty sure. Do you think the Lakers got buyer remorse here?
I I think so, yeah, because you've seen the Hornets were thinking about filing the injunction or whatever to like
Yeah.
the whole trade thing when the Lakers kind of vetoed it. I don't understand why the Lakers would do this though. I mean, they signed Alex Lynn right after this. He's giving you, I think, 2 points in 32 minutes so far, and he just got benched for some two-way G League guy. So I don't know what the Lakers were thinking. I mean, Don Connect, he's a great young player, but he's not really playing much. It's not a good fit here. So I don't understand why Cam Reddish hasn't given you squat for the past 2 years. So I mean, at this point, I don't know why. I mean, you give Luca asked for him when he was given a list, and I think you'd want to do everything to keep Luca there because at the end of the day, Luca didn't say he wants to be a Laker. You would think he'd stay there because he get a max extension for the best he could. So I don't understand why didn't get them to try to make Luca happy. So it's kind of a confusing situation for LA.
Yeah, I don't know, unless you just really want to keep Connect, unless you're going to move on from Reeves, which I don't know, very confusing deal. It's what the Lakers needed, unless they were just concerned about paying him and Luca, and I guess the rest of the guys. But I don't know. But Luca also already has a mural in LA. He has played, I think, 5 games for the Lakers, and he's already with Kobe on a mural. So good for him. Not playing great, not playing great, but LeBron is on fire at 40 years old. Of course, GS's TikTok reposts have been all about it. But uh, we this was supposed to be last week, but we talked about the All Star game. Very boring yet again. They try to change it up. I don't know how you fix it, GS. Do you know how to fix the All Star game?
I think it's a combination of, I think it's a ton of things. Like you got, I mean, Mac McClung, great dunker. Okay, I'm not trying to take away from him, but you're letting a G League player basically build a dynasty in the 3-point contest right now. I mean, it's good that like John Morant just came out and said, he may play now in the dunk contest, which would be good. But I also think, when the face of the league for the past 20 plus years and LeBron doesn't play, I don't think he's like necessarily inspiring anybody to actually try and play hard in the All-Star game. Not that he was playing that hard, but I mean, at the end of the day, they need someone to step up and take over a leadership role. Maybe do something like what the NHL did and like try to set, Europe versus America or something along those lines, just something to make it more entertaining. So that way the fans can have something to root for and actually pay attention to. I mean, you've seen even with NFL, it's been awful. MLB's been, I mean, it's been solid, but I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people don't love sitting there for a 9 inning baseball game. But with NHL, at least you have like fights. You have the regional competitiveness. So I think they're definitely going to change something over the next few years, and I think that will definitely help it.
Yeah, that's what I was just to sound like the Four Nations thing, which we will talk about later. Let's jump to the Major League Baseball. Alex Bregman goes to Boston on a 3-year deal. Known third baseman, has played second base, can play second base. Um, so Devers in the offseason says that he would DH if Nolan Arenado was signed to the team or traded to the team. Uh, yeah, traded to the team. Bregman signs, and people are like, all right, so Devers DH makes sense. Bregman, a respected guy, kind of a culture builder of a player. Gets there. Devers comes out first day of spring training, says he's the third baseman. He's not switching. It's in his contract to a GM that's not even there anymore, which is wild to me that the Red Sox are allowing this. So Devers not moving. Could be some issues there. Devers also a historically bad third baseman. I think he's top 10 in current errors, like all time errors, not all time, but like of active players. I think he's in the top 10 of errors, uh, up there with a lot of shortstops. And Devers, I think he's one of the only third basemen. He just can't play the position. I'm going to be honest. I think that Devers would be an MVP candidate if he was just a DH, not having to worry about playing third base. Let Bregman, who is the much better defender, uh, play there. GRS, your kind of thoughts on Devers not
Yeah,
willing to move?
I don't know why he doesn't want to. I mean, I don't know his contract for sure, but I think he signed something a year or two ago. Big
Like
deal, 200
200, yeah.
plus, probably. Yeah, so I mean, he got paid. I don't know why he cares so much about playing the hot corner when he's not very good at it. I guess maybe, he's trying to line himself up for maybe the next contract, and he doesn't want some value to be taken away just because he doesn't want to be seen as a DH. But I mean, he's already getting I mean, he's well, like what you said, he's 10th worst in errors. So, I mean, you'd think people are already downgrading that. But, I mean, I think Bregman would be willing to move second. I think he seems like a great guy outside of the whole Astros cheating scandal thing. But I think that infield could be pretty good. I mean, you have Devers. If Trevor Story's healthy, I mean, Trevor Story was once seen as one of the top young shortstops in baseball when he was with the Rockies. And you have I don't know who's at first, but then you would have Bregman at second. So I think that that Boston kind of went all in this year, and they're going to give Yankees something to fight for, Hunter.
All right. All right. Sure, sure, sure. Let's talk about the Yankees. We got two things about the Yankees. But let's go with this one first. If I can pull it up. There you go. Aaron Boone, Yankees manager, signs an extension for 2 years through 2027. I see a lot of Yankees fans being like, why are we doing this? This sucks. Don Mattingly should be the manager. Listen, the guy, I hold on. What's his record? It's like a 600. Hold on. I'm about to I'm about to pull out some stats on Ichiro. You ready for this?
I love stats.
I Let's see.
Of course,
Managerial
man.
record. Here we go. Let's see. So his Yankees career, 7 years so far. 2025 would be eight, and then he'll go through nine. He's won 603 games, lost 429 for a .584 win loss percentage. That's pretty good. He's won one pennant, and I think he's been in the playoffs almost every year. I would think.
Uh,
I think they
Probably
miss.
close to.
He's. I mean, he's made the playoffs. I think 6 times out of his. I think 7 years. So the guy wins. He hasn't won the World Series. Sure. Uh, you can't blame that all on the manager. I'm going to be honest. A lot of people also saying that this will probably be his last extension due to Brian Cashman only keeping managers around for 10 years. It's what happened last time. It's what happened the time before. I don't think so. I think that if he wins the World Series, he probably gets another extension. I mean, the guy wins. The players love him too. Judge came out and said, he's honestly quite happy that they extend him. He was a little worried about it. He fights for the guys. I like him. Sometimes I do question what he's doing, but he wins, and I like what he's doing. Giros, your kind of thoughts on?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times managers kind of get the blame when stuff don't go well. Like even with the Braves last year, it's like, it was a dramatic step down, but manager can't control injuries at the end of the day. And so I've a lot of times they're just the scapegoat, I feel like. And so I mean, I think I mean, he deserves it. I think he's done some good things up with the Yankees. They have had the talent, but I do think he does some good things. So I don't have a problem with it. And clearly, as a Yankees fan, you don't. So.
Yeah, I don't see the issue here. And I think a lot of at least on Yankees Twitter, which is a wild place sometimes because it's New York on Twitter. Um, a lot of them were 50-50. They're like they either like the guy or they hate the guy's guts and would hate to see him take a step from. You know, eh, that's just how it is sometimes as a Yankees fan because you know there's standards, a tradition, a legacy, and a tradition that was broken today. The Yankees have lifted their facial hair policy. Uh, Everyone can rejoice. Uh, I'm glad. I used to defend it, and then as I kind of was like, one, this is deterring some free agents because CC Sabathia almost didn't sign with the Yankees because of the facial hair policy. I'm glad that they did it. A lot of people, Devin Williams, I think, took his new profile, his headshot thing, and he had a beard. Saw a lot of people on Yankee Twitter being like, "Why does he have a beard? That's not us. We don't do that." Then they lift the policy, and everybody kind of rejoiced. Now it's not fully lifted. You can't have like a scraggly beard. You can have a clean shaven, not trying to look like Duck Dynasty beard, as Brian Cashman said.
Can't look like Chris Sale.
Can't. Yes, can't do that. Clean, tight, and yeah. Jess, your kind of thoughts?
I wish they had this like a decade ago because Brian McCann shaved made me wanna cry. So that was when he was with the Braves. He had that gray beard, and then one at bat with the Yankees, and I did not even recognize him. So I think a lot of people were rejoicing. What was the initial reason? I know it was the owner's dad. Like, what was his reason for this? So everybody would be like uniform, I
Yeah,
guess, looks same.
I don't know. It's almost
Weird New York
Steinberger.
thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like clean shaven. I don't know.
I think everybody's happy it lifted. Could y'all? I
I
thought y'all could have like mustaches or something.
Yeah, you could have a mustache.
Okay,
You can't have hair. You have to like have
just gotta
hair
be.
go to a certain amount. Uh,
Mm,
you can't have like a mullet, and
okay.
you can't have anything. I think like below here. So like Johnny Damon had the kind of had
Oh
him
yeah.
had the chop, had a half
I know.
chop thing going.
Yeah.
Johnny Damon, yeah, we murdered his
Was
look.
it like would they suspend you or they just like fine you over a course
I
of
think you
time?
get fined and then you get suspended or so. I don't know. Like they would call you out in the dugout and make you shave like in the middle of in
Dang.
the clubhouse. So I don't know. 49 years it stood. It's now no more. It looks like they're going to work on it. I think that this should have happened a long time ago.
Should have never been a thing.
Do what?
Should have never been a thing in the first place.
I don't know. I used to be like, that's right. We keep clean shaven. And then I was like, it would be hard for me to, you know, 3 game series. I'm on the road. You know, there might be a little scruff going on if I was out there. All right, like I'm not. You know,
Ugh.
that's just
Yeah, I
me.
get you.
But our last MLB topic. What team's going to surprise us, G Russ? You want to go first on this one or me? Because we both
Uh,
had the same one, and
yeah,
then
we
you
had the same
switched.
one. Yeah, I volunteer. I had multiple because I'm the
Oh,
MLB guy here. I'm gonna go with team in the it's the same division as Hunters, so I will be going with the Los Angeles
cool.
Angels, not the other LA team because
All
they're
right.
probably gonna win it all. I could say. First off, shout out Ron Washington. Love him. I miss him being my third base coach because he's the most aggressive third base coach I've ever seen, and he helped us win a World Series. So good job to him. Infielders loved him. Great defensive coach. But they added a ton of people. They're a bunch of veterans. They got Travis d'Arnaud, Jorge Soler, Yusei Kikuchi, Kyle Hendricks, and Tim Anderson to a minor league deal, which is great for a guy who, at one time led the league in hits, I think 2021 or 2019. I don't know for sure.
I know.
But yeah, so they got veterans to bring in, and you also have guys like Christian Moore, who had a very hot start to his minor league career. They're looking to bring him up, fast track him because he's a college guy. And at the end of the day, when he's healthy, you have the best player in the world, in Mike Trout. Maybe it's not the best at this time, but like at the beginning of last year, he was putting up possible MVP numbers before his injury. And then also the thing that helps him is that the division's not very good. Astros are being seen taking a step back. Mariners didn't do anything. They have a great starting rotation, but that's about it. The A's are looking to get better. I'll let Hunter maybe talk about them more later. And then finally, who is the other one I'm missing?
Yeah,
I said,
Rangers. The
oh yeah,
Rangers.
And the Rangers. It's kind of just everybody's got to be healthy for that to go right. Also, so I think the Angels. I could see them maybe being I think the only way to get in is if they win the division, with that division not being great. So either they're going to be on pace to win the division or maybe be an 85 win team and have a chance because the AL is not as good as the NL. So I think the Angels could surprise some people this year, especially if they start out well, get rid of that Rendon contract and free up some money.
Yeah. I don't really know. The Angels. They're just mid. I hate to say it. Really
Not
depends
this
on if
year.
Mike. Oh, all right. How many wins, Jess?
How many wins? I'll put it, obviously it's the Angels at the end of the day. I'll say, gotta do math here. I'll
Are they
say
gonna make the six?
85 and gosh, I gotta do math. I'm not good at math. 85
Just say
and
85 wins. 85 wins.
85 wins.
All right. 6 wild card spot.
Six? Yeah, probably.
All
They'll
right.
they'll be in the hunt. That's my prediction.
I think my team is going to beat your team for the 6 wild card spot, which is the Oakland A's. I think DraftKings
They're not the
or
Oakland A's anymore.
the Las Vegas A's that play in a minor league stadium. Uh, I think DraftKings or Underdog, I don't know which one, has their projected win their line at 71 wins. I think if you know, I might be taking the over. I'm not gonna lie. Here's the
Money
here's the
Mac.
proj- here here's the projected lineup. Lawrence Butler had a really good year last year, looking to replicate that this year. Brent Rooker, I think he won
Stud.
not rookie of the year, but solid player. JJ Bleday, another young solid player. kind of carving out a pretty good career right now. Shea Langoliers, their catcher, got a good bat. I think, yes, former Brave.
Or
Uh, uh, Tyler Sordenson, Sorters. I can't say his name. He's their first baseman. Projected to hit 232. It's not bad. Or that might have been
pretty bad.
last year. I don't. That might have been last year. Zach Geloff, sorry, their second baseman. Seth Brown, Gio Urshela playing third base out there, and Jacob Wilson, who's another young guy. I like this lineup. I really do. I think that you got enough pop. You got enough solid hitters in Rooker, Blade, Seth Brown, another guy you can put bat the ball. Jacob Wilson, who's younger, he doesn't have as much playing time, but I think that if he plays really well, he could do it. And if you look at their pitching rotation, this is where I would get concerned. I think that you're going to have a better rotation. And Luis Severino, who I think is getting paid $60 million on a
Mhm.
3-year deal there. Good for him. Jeffrey Springs, JP Spears, and the other two, I have no idea. I've never heard of them. Mitch Spence and bear with me here. Osalvador Bido, who's projected to be their fourth guy.
First guy was like their eighth prospect a couple years ago, I think. Don't ask why I know that, but
Jeffrey Springs or JP Spears?
I
JP
believe
Spears, I think it is.
JP was 4 and Jeffrey was 8. Don't ask me why I know
Something
this
like that.
stuff.
I think that this team, plus you have Mason Miller in the bullpen, so you got a really good closer. I think you also got Jose Leclerc in there. Wow.
Mhm.
Dylan Floro, too, another guy. You are playing in a minor league stadium, but
That
I
helps.
think that I think that the A's could seriously do some damage here. It feels like every once in a while the A's get a little. They had the Matt Olson, Matt Chapman team that made the playoffs, kind of made some noise with Blake
Mhm.
Trinan in there too. I feel like this is kind of that team again, going for that sixth wild card spot. And like you said, in AL West, that kind of wide open right now. You don't really know if the Rangers are going to be healthy. You don't know what the
Mhm.
Astros are doing because you kind of lose your two big bats there. And then of course you get the Angels and the forgetting the other
Mariners.
one now. And the Mariners who didn't really add a whole lot. So you got a lot of teams there that are kind of, I would say, very equal. I would say it'd probably be the most competitive division in baseball, just going for the spot. One team's going to come out on top. Don't think it will be the A's, but I think there'll be a solid 2 or 3 in this
It's because
division.
the Angels are winning it.
Oh wow! All right, there you go. Let's talk about some
Brent
basketball.
Brent Rooker was one of 12 guys who had a 900 OPS or better.
This guy knows ball. Let's talk about some NCAA men's basketball, though. Mizzou gets a big win over number 4 Bama. What's their head coach's name?
Oh my goodness. I know. I can see his
I
face.
forget his name too. He's new. Uh, he told the fans, "Don't rush the court. We got to save the money for some NIL." Just the world of college basketball we live in. Jess is looking up the name right now.
Dennis Gates.
There you go. Gets the big win over Nate Oates. Mizzou looking scary as we head towards March, which is we're almost there, Juras. We sleep
Almost there.
in April. I am so excited for March Madness. You have no idea. Um, so we're gonna talk about that as let's see, February 21st. This video comes out the 22nd. We're
We
close.
need to we need to get like a committee again and try to make a perfect bracket. The perfect bracket,
That would be
dude.
the worst. We could do the always March thing and just have us 5 fill out a bracket, see what happens.
Good.
Good. Let's go to some hockey. Some hockey, eh? 4 nations. Sorry. U.S. versus Canada for the championship. Let's talk about the game last week, though. Booed the national anthem, and then I think some Toby Keith was playing. Um, Just care to back me up here? My daddy served in the army when he lost his right eye, but he put a flag out in our yard till the day that he died. He wanted my brother. Yeah, you get it. That's some Toby Keith for you. Rest in peace. Pour one out for him if you got it. U.S. gets the big win. Advance to the tournament final. They face Canada, and we lose. So Canada ruined hockey for probably mostly everybody last night. Connor McDavid, overtime goal, 4-3. I don't, not a big hockey guy. Me and G-Russ, we more prefer the golf. But for about a week there, I was a fan. I was a fan. I was into it. The fights, it was pretty. They won me over, G-Russ. They win you over?
I wasn't able to watch it because of basketball, so I was kind of, watching the fights
Uh,
on Instagram and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty. I'd say it's pretty entertaining. I wish I was there.
yeah. Well, you know what? We might delve into some hockey, but
Yeah,
yeah, the next thing is the tournament. I don't wait. I don't
Stanley Cup.
know the Four Nations tournament. You want to talk
Is
about
that
it, or are
like
we just
is that like the World Cup of
that's
hockey?
uh,
Was that
no.
just not the? Okay. Well,
That's what we were just talking about.
we said next was the foreign nations. Like, was
Yeah,
that
that's
not
what
the
we were
foreign
talking
nations?
about. We were gonna.
We
Yeah,
said next was this. So.
looking back, the order of that makes zero sense.
So confused.
But Four Nations tournament that was U.S. versus Canada. I think Sweden and Finland were also in there. There you go. There's some hockey at the end there for our Canadian fans. All zero of you. Shout out. That's it. Peace out. Jesus loves you. We will check social media. We have it's up to something season, as they say. Up to something season.
What?
Yeah. You never heard that? Pat McAfee show?
I
Shout out
didn't
Pat
know.
McAfee.
Is that usually this season or is that?
That is this season. Oh shoot.
Okay.
New chair
Oh.
spinning very quick. Up to something season, Juris.
Mm.
Mm. Peace out. We'll see you next time. Barrett couldn't make it. Working out a scholarship. Get your scholarship, kid. Jesus loves you. We'll be back maybe Monday.
Why
You
not?
want to? Why not, Juris? Let's
Why
let's do
not?
it. Let's do it. Peace out.